put this in practicality. I asked Disha out. She said yes, yay. She's meeting me for the first date. Okay, so how do I start a date? Good to see you. Right, so up to you. If you wouldn't mind. Thank you. Nope, that sucks. Okay? So if she's made the effort to come and see you again, let's start it with a nice physical vibe. Doesn't mean latching yourself onto her, but it's like, hey, really great to see you. You look gorgeous. Shall we? And then maybe I let go and we're at the, I lead her a little bit and then we get to the stoplight, I let go, and that's the touch. Okay? It's not gropey, it's not pushy, but it shows her that yes, there's going to be physicality. Okay, so today's class is our final class with the ladies. Sorry, everyone's going to be sad at the end, but that's how it is. We're going to be looking at touch. Now, we're not doing anything fancy, nothing kinky, nothing too sexy. We're just going to be looking at the qualities of normal, natural touch that would happen in an interaction or on a date, pre-kiss or basically that. So, before we look at ways to touch a woman, what would you say would be some of the... What would you say some of the qualities of bad touch would be? Like, say I wanted to put my hands... Stand over here, please. I wanted to put my hand on her shoulder. What would be bad ways to do that? Frantic?
Nervous, like, I don't know. Nervous.
Right, okay, so anything where I'm trembling and I'm uncertain, yes? Like that? Yep. What else?
Anything too forceful.
Right, sorry about this. Mate. Yeah. And I see this, like, guys are doing it accidentally. They're not, but, I'm trying to put, I think you did it the other day, and like to do this touch here, right? It was a bit like that. Plonk down, okay? If you're going to do that type of touch, never touch a woman, because it's having the opposite effect that you want, all right? So anything where, I plonk it on, or there's rigidity in my hand, right? Like, so there's tension in my hand. This feels like some strange claw, right? Or I grab her like this or something, like this. I can feel for her that feels terrible, all right? What else? So too forceful, too tentative.
Too sudden or unexpected.
Too sudden and unexpected, yes. Okay, so, yes, too sudden.
Or like your hands coming from behind.
And then what, wiping on her face? Yeah. Don't ever do that move. Yeah.
It's like a murder.
Exactly, don't.
Like, I'm not going to kiss you, but if I was going in for a kiss, right, this is not good, right? The ninja kiss. No, it's that, generally as you get closer to the woman, you slow it down. It's deliberate and slow, right? So you saw that the other day when we did the 5-step drill, where we step in here, right? Now, if I come in like this, that's going to freak her out even if she liked me, right? But as I come in close, now I'm about to be too close, and so I break eye contact to create the psychological pressure or intimate pressure there, and then I slow everything down. So I'm coming in to speak to you in the bar, so we're talking and I can't hear it. And I just come in like this, right? Now, did you notice the primary touch and the incidental touch? Okay, someone describe that. So, if this was me mate, right, and I went, hey mate, fucking football's great, huh? Would I do that bit as well? I might, but he'd be confused. Yeah. So, for any standard social touch, which you could do on a friend or your mother or something, there'll be a sexy incidental touch that you can add to it, which makes it better, right? So, if we were just mates, and I just went, all right, let's go over here. Yeah, that's a friendly touch, right? Whereas this with the blend here, that extra touch there, here, this one I've got in your toes, I meant to do that. Yeah. Right, so if I want to take a woman by the hands, don't do this. Do this. Right? Because how does that feel on the inside of your arm?
Feels very nice.
Mm-hmm. Women's skin is like multiples times more sensitive than ours, And where are the most sensitive parts of the body? It's always on the interior. Yeah, makes sense, right? These are the soft, delicate parts of the body. These are the external parts, right? So inside of the wrists, inside of the bicep, inside of the thighs, behind the knees, along the neck, right? Those are all erogenous or super sensitive zones. Yeah, and so we can, even I'm just looking at her ring, for example, and I get this extra touch. Now, of course, that could be, very sleazy if I made a big deal out of it, right? But if it's just that I allow my hand to blend into hers, then she gets this lovely touch and me, just supporting her hand as opposed to, looking at the ring. Mm-hmm. Anyone, was there anything else? Anyone said things? Yeah, like if I'm really uncertain, like I want to take a hand and I go like that, it's not very masculine or leading, right? Yeah, or I half do it where I like hover, right? So I'm not uncertain about whether, I'll turn again so the others can see, right? I'm uncertain, so I'm sort of hovering there. Feels creepy and weird. Yeah.
Sometimes you can see guys in photos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're just like hot, like that. I'm halfway there. Oh, that's so cringe. Don't do that. Okay, so now if we look at what makes elements of the quality of touch, what makes it good. So, because in a moment you're going to be doing some very simple touching with the ladies. You're just going to be turning them around, leading them basically, right? And it may not look fancy or particularly important, but as I was saying to some people or everyone this morning, like a man that does that and says, hey, come over here, and then let's go, like I've already communicated volumes to her, that I know how to touch a woman, that I know how to make her feel good, right? And we were talking about that in terms of escalation, right? We're not escalating to get points. We're escalating the level of physical touch because it feels good for her. That's the only reason that she's going to want more of it, really, right? Like, otherwise, yeah, she's not going, oh, he touched me on the arm, that means next time he can do the elbow, next time he can do the shoulders. It's like, no, oh, wow, that felt nice. Yes, I want him to touch me more. That's the idea, right? And we're starting the physical discussion below the verbal discussion, yeah, which is, the primal one. Good day, gents. Hope you're enjoying this behind-the-scenes look at a Natural Lifestyles workshop. Our 4-day intensive workshops are the only space in the world where a man can learn both the practical skills, the real-world application of seduction day game by going out, approaching many women on the mics and getting granular specific feedback from your coaches, as well as going into the lab and working with our sexy female assistants on intent, touch, escalation, and conversational frameworks. So if you'd like to join myself, Alex, and the TNL crew for our next upcoming workshop, which is from the 27th until the 30th of April, there's a couple of spots left. We're going to be hitting the streets in Budapest, Hungary, my favorite hunting ground for sexy ladies, and changing the lives of brave men. Then all you need to do is click the link in the description, get on a free call with us, have a chat, and hopefully we'll see you in the streets. And now back to the video. Okay, so if we look at just the quality of touch, when I place my hands on her shoulders, for example, I just let the shape of my hand fit hers. Right, so I think of it like my hand is made of melting wax or something like that, right? So the contours of her body determine what shape my hand makes. Because anything like this, right, where I'm holding some tension here, now all she feels is weird fingertips, right? It's not pleasant, right? Whereas that is now fitting the shape of her body. Same thing if we're running the hand down her back, it just fits the shape. So my hand is kind of, it's not like limp, but it's loose, right? There's a nimbleness or movement in my fingers, so I'm not holding a rigid hand and then just scraping down. It follows the shape of her body, right? Same thing if I'm reaching around and I have my hand on her hips, right? This is a nice way to walk along with somebody. Turn. Okay, so it comes in and it fits around, as opposed to, just kind of finding the spot and then gripping into it.
Can we see Chris?
Yes, definitely. Flows in, and then, from there when we're walking, see these kinds of like loose and simple touches that leads into, like pleasant, intimate moments with her. All right, it's not a big deal. Like, let's put this in practicality. I asked Disha out. She said yes, yay. She's meeting me for the first date. Okay, so how do I start a date? Good to see you. Right, so up to you. If you wouldn't mind. Thank you. Nope, that sucks. Okay? So if she's made the effort to come and see you again, let's start it with a nice physical vibe. Doesn't mean latching yourself onto her, but it's like, hey, really great to see you. You look gorgeous. Shall we? And then maybe I let go and we're at the, I lead her a little bit and then we get to the stoplight, I let go, and that's the touch. Okay? It's not gropey, it's not pushy, but it shows her that yes, there's going to be physicality. Now, of course, she might be weirded out and resist that, right? So let's say I go to take your hands and so I've kissed you, and then you kind of resist, pull your hands away. A bit more, less, even worse. All right, so, wow, you look awesome. Shall we? And then, okay, so I registered that she pulled away a little bit, not in a like, get away from you freak, just like, I didn't want that touch right now. Okay, I can adjust. Yeah. If I have rigidity in my own body, then I won't be able to read this. Right, so resist when I try to pull you. Shall we? Okay, I can feel it, right? Whereas if I have tension in my arm and I'm trying to pull her, resist. I didn't feel that she was resisting. I literally can't register it. All right, so you just let your hands melt onto her shoulders. And to start with, what you see is as I start to pivot my hips, it takes her center, right? Because what I don't really want you to be doing is using your arms as levers, because again, you won't be able to really feel what's happening, right? Any partner dancing, which is led by the male, has this thing where your core is the thing that everything moves off, right? So we're working with that same kind of feel. So just get this rock going for a while, and ladies just kind of relax and let them take the lead on it. And then at some point, I want you to do this and say, turn. Okay? So what you'll notice with this turn, just look at the quality of touch on my hands. Turn. Okay, what do you see?
You're always in contact at some point.
Yeah, it's like I'm an octopus or something. Yeah, it's like she just feeds through, and so there's a touch across the collarbone, or there's this touch across the back, which easily goes into the hand, for example. Yeah? Where is this relevant? Anyone? Like, what would be a practical value of it? When do you need to turn a woman around? Look at that, it's an eclipse. Let's go. Actually, let's go this way. Yeah? Or, later on we're in the bedroom and I spin her around and pull her in and do something nasty. Right? I'm not spinning girls all the time, but you will need to be able to turn them. Again, I can either grab straight at the hand or grab at the wrist, or I can dive in here, get that sensation down through the wrist, and then lead weight there. Okay. Shifting into, and then adding turns. Now then you can, if you're walking along with a lady, having your arm around her shoulder, don't drop the entire weight of your arm on her. Right? I mean, my arm's not that huge, but some of you are massive. So there's a little bit of weight just to guide her from there. Yeah. Same on the hips here, wrapping in. Lock her into you as you're walking, because this doesn't work very well. Right? Whereas being locked in at the hips here does. And then you can add these. Turn around. Come here. If I wanted to, for example, we're going this way and I want to go that way. Two choices. I can do this, sorry. All right, which is where I'm like plowing her in a big arc, or I can do this. Actually, let's go over here. So what was the difference?
You used your free hand.
What I did is I made her the pivot point. Yeah. Right, so what I did is I went here and I stopped her, and then I turned her 90 degrees and I adjusted. Right, which is the gentleman's way to do it. Right, so in action that looks like here. Actually, let's avoid those men. Don't like the looks of them. Actually, fuck it, let's go that way. Yeah. You seeing this quality here? It's like kind of octopus hands. What does that feel like compared to, so that way that I'm turning you around? So just be aware of this. Well, you've got to read my signals, woman. That way. Okay, as opposed to I'll do the same movements, but it has a different quality to it. Not as good. How does that feel differently?
I'm like breaking
Mm-hmm.
on the wall.
Like, the difference would be absolutely the difference between a hell yes and an absolute no. Or let's say probably yes and an absolute no. So this stuff, even though it's subtle things, these are the kinds of touches you're most likely to be doing on a day, right? Now, both of you hop up for a second. We've got some room. Get out. You can stay. You can stay. All right. So seated. All right. So, actually, I may as well just... So if I'm getting a girl to stand up, here's what I don't do. Not a sexy moment, right? I do this. Come with me. Yeah. Actually, or if I wanted her to sit down, I'll do this. Get down. So again, I'm just walking back. And what I did there to place her down is I didn't shove her down. I placed. All right, there is rougher versions of that, but that's a nice one. Or if I'm leading her over to the couch, let's say, okay, we came in, we got a drink in here, and then I said, oh, come take a seat. See that there? Yeah, very natural and easy. The other thing I want to show you how to do is how to hug a woman or anyone properly. All right, here's some bad ways to hug someone. Ass out and whatever that is. Pressing her into you, not good. Yep. Tentative ones where you sort of spring out of it. I see that a lot with guys, like she's an explosive. Yep.
I've never seen this.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh my God.
I've seen it.
Wow.
Anything where I'm really, you put your arms around me, where I'm really rigid anywhere, like I'm holding tension in my hands or something, she'll just feel hard bits washed in. It's not nice. Okay? So a good embrace, firstly, I will offer the hug, not go in for the hug, right? Because if I come into a woman's space like that, even if she knows me well, it's not really the best way. I offer the hug and she comes to me, all right? Come here. So she comes in, fits in, then I wrap around her. Now, a couple of things to note. Here, if I stand upright, completely upright, my chest will push into hers and it's not actually comfortable. So what I do is I empty my chest. So it's just the difference between this and this, right? So your sternum basically collapses a little bit, which means she can fit in. Relax. Okay, so I wrap on and then I wrap off. Which means, again, that we get all that extra touch, right? Instead of just the hug starts now, instead, arms please. Hug starts here, wraps around, completes, and so she gets that nice constriction, and she gets to fit into me because I've got that bow in my chest. And then when I release, don't explode out of it. Let it melt off, take my hands, relax. Cool. So then you can start to put it all together. So we can start with our turn around. Let's go. Hug. Take a seat and stand up again. Okay, so it should look something like some kind of dancing, right? I'm not a trained dancer, but this feels to her like she's dancing with me, and that feels nice as we're going on our little adventure. Yes?
Yes.
One thing I should show you, this is like basically a tango step. So let's say, I want to get her onto the bed, which is this, all right? Now this is later in the date, obviously. All right, so we're together, and we like each other now, and I'm taking her somewhere. So if I want to walk her back this way, if I walk forward, I'll just step on her feet. All right, so I do it, look at my feet.
Between feet?
Okay, so what I did there was this. It's literally a tango step. So it's sliding body weight diagonally. Yeah, but don't take big steps. It's going to be, because otherwise she'll trip over. So watch the length of step that it is. All right. So, and to start with, I'll go side to side to make sure she's with me. Right now, when I've got, it's the empty leg, so my weight's now on my left, so it'll be the right. Right. So there's small steps, right? But I can, and I'm not going to do this over 10 meters, right? But a meter or two before I, put it down, for example, is good. Cool, and then we can do it from behind as well. So same thing, I'm holding it by the hips, or maybe, might have it around the here or whatever, but then it's this. Get down. Cool?
I've seen guys doing like by the neck. Is it cool or bad?
It's very cool in the right moment, yes. So, so he's basically saying, can you lead her or by the neck? Absolutely you can. Now, I would certainly do that with a partner that I know. Like, that's not a thing I'm doing on a first date, probably, is gripping around the neck to lead her. I mean, I might, but I'd have to really know the vibe was correct for that. But yes, like, we've been making out, and then, okay, so we've been here, and then she's showing submissive signs by letting go here. I've come up here, maybe I've done some caressing to precursor to choking, right? I mean, that's a whole other thing, but if I'm ever choking a woman, I don't immediately go on. I put it here, and then you lift your chin, right, which is a signal that she likes that, right? So then I might put a choke on, right? But then if I might be like, let's go, young lady, all right? So what I'm doing here is I'm holding her, look at you, is I'm holding her by the neck muscles. Now, I'm not digging my fingertips in, right? I'm holding firmly, and I'll show you, I'll do it to each of you. It's like that.
That's not even that hard. Okay.
Yeah, so I can maneuver you, like it's a dominance hold, right? But I'm not digging the fingertips in. All right, so same thing, yes, I will sometimes if that's the vibe, but this snaking up here, gripping, come here. All right, that's sexy and dominant. And look, with a partner, like it can be cool, and like someone's there and give her a neck massage as well, right?
Yeah.
You can have. So yes, we can absolutely lead, and I can maneuver her from here using my forearm. So I'll turn her this way so you can see. Here, see that? So I used the inner forearm as the turn, right? So if it works better with momentum, right? Yeah, or I can do this kind of thing, right? So I spin her, draw her into me from the neck. Yeah. Now, there's certainly from the front as well. So there's a difference. This is not a choke. This is a neck hold, right? So I'm not choking here. I've got room. I'm grabbing the neck from the other side. Now, it depends on how big your hands are, how big your neck is, whether that'll work from this position. But right now, that's a hot move for get over here. Yeah, or get up against the wall, right? Or turn her in like this, like that. Okay, so here, there's room enough that I'm holding her by muscles, so there's no constriction of the airways at all. When you're seated on a date, like where you're on a park bench or whatever, some kind of date like that, so what will be types of touch that'll work here? As I was saying, right now, but if I go like that, okay, that reminds me, right? This kind of like it just blended on, yeah? And look, I mean, if she doesn't like that, she'll go like that, yeah? Or she'll tense in some kind of way. But here, making a point, and then it's gone, right? That's very different from me going like this, right? This is like a kind of a creepy move, whereas this is that little incidental touch as I'm making a point. And, I can even turn my wrist over as I'm explaining something, and then it's gone again, all right? That's a sexy touch. Yeah. Like with a lot of these initial touches before you've slept with somebody, you want it to be like it was there, and before she's really registered it too much, it's gone again. Yeah, because sure, if I went there and then I left my hand on her knee for a long time, now she's thinking about it. She might be thinking good things about it, but now she has to consciously decide and then go, oh, people watching, should I, all that, right? As opposed to here for a moment and then it's gone again. Okay, she doesn't have to make a decision about it. but it felt nice. What else from here? Yeah, like this kind of touch. Now be aware of don't ever tap a woman or anybody unless you're in Italy. Yeah, they always do. And Portugal, they do that too. But yeah, the back of the fingertips for this little incidental touch here, as I make a point, for sure. You know, if I'm checking out her nails or her ring or something like that, then you see that the quality of the touch here, like where it's not just, you know, picking up like it's some object, right? Yeah, I've seen people do that. Yeah, so let's imagine you have a ring. Oh, show me that ring. It's lovely. Where'd you get it? Right, this kind of touch, and then sometimes I'm cheeky and I'll do that. Right, and then see what she does. If she like immediately pulls it off, then or if she goes down there, then that's good. All right. Oh, that's lovely. And then, you know, this is, are we holding hands? Not really. We just both happen to have our hands on my leg. Yeah. And then don't be attached to that. I'm not like, oh, I better keep that for there for long. There, she moves it off again. Cool. This is the physical conversation underneath the verbal conversation. You're still touching me, you sleazy woman. Yeah. Now, from here, this is not that great.
Yeah, only for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, but even it's not good for a couple of seconds because now it doesn't come off. Now, how do I get rid of it? Now I have to be like, you know, and especially if I go like that and then she resists it, it's a long way back. A long, lonely journey back. Yeah. So, yeah, I would stay away from trying to put the arm around the girl. Like, sometimes what I do if I've, you know, gone home with a girl and then we're in that room and there's the couch and I sit down and she sits down there. How do I close this gap? Better that she closes the gap, right? So I sit down and she chooses to sit there. So I might open out like this, so we're in this kind of space. Then I have this touch here, and then at some point I'll say, come here. Come here. And then she'll either say yes, if she says yes, then come here. There, right? So that can be quite a common thing. She does want to get physically close, but she's not going to bridge the gap, and then you're in this frozen moment, right? You don't know what to do. So go back again. Come over here. Right, so that she moves into my space, but and then I'm, not yet. So she's close, right there. Hit this, come here. Now that's not a pull, it's just like a wipe, basically. Then she fits into me, right? That's the better way to do it, right? Because from there to kiss is that. As opposed to, and that's a long way back, that one, for sure.
So don't scoot over.
Rarely. Like, if I was to scoot over, you scoot over for a moment. Okay, so you sat down, she sat down. Leave it for a bit. Yes, can I scoot over? Yes, but I can't do it like this. What was wrong with that?
Too intensive.
Why?
There's this look.
I had to look.
Eyes.
Because it's like face first.
Yeah.
Here I come from the eyeballs, right? As opposed to blah, 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 amazing story. Actually, it reminds me. So, right? So I kept out this open psychological space. So I'm way closer, but I'm not in her face, right? So, and I continue the thing and made the point, and then a bit later, I'm like, actually, you know, just here, right? And then from there, okay, I can reach around to like touch the neck, for example, and then I could say, come here, right? Make sense? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I usually use font for this. Oh, take a look at my cards.
You don't need to use anything. Because if she, like, look, if she came home with you and she's comfortable and you sat down on a couch or in your bedroom.
Yeah, I mean like in a bar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, in social things, if you're at a bar or, you know, on the couch or whatever, I don't need an excuse. Yeah, it's just this, like, open psychological space. And in this, like, here I'm actually looking away from her. I mean, I don't have to. But then when I settle back in here, it doesn't feel too close. Or if it, you know, if she doesn't want me that close, then she'll lean away, and then I'll get that, sense, and then I'll just quickly go back to where I was. That's my butt moonwalk. Or you can do this one here. Gents, there's 2 spots left for our upcoming 4-day intensive workshop in Budapest, Hungary from the 27th until the 30th of April, where myself and the TNL coaches will be taking a brave group of gentlemen around the streets, doing dozens of hours of approaches and getting personalized feedback so that you can have a massive improvement in a very short amount of time, plus all the other mini workshops within the workshop on conversation, touch, inner game, state change, posture, body language, and so much more. So if you'd like to join us, you can click the link in the description, book in for a free coaching call with Alex, where you can have a chat about all of your current issues, get a roadmap to success. This is obligation free, and if you'd like to join the workshop, well, then you better hurry up because we just got 2 spots left. And if not, see you in the next video. Peace.